The bread you're eating for breakfast right now could be quietly spiking your blood sugar, draining your energy, and clouding your focus, if you are over 60. And the worst part? You probably think you're making a healthy choice. A 2024 analysis from the Global Institute for Nutritional Science examined the blood sugar response of 5,000 adults over 60 after eating common, everyday breads. The results were startling. They discovered that the wrong type of bread caused blood sugar spikes that were more dramatic and lasted significantly longer than the spike from consuming pure table sugar. Let that sink in for a moment. A food many people consider a dietary staple can be more disruptive to your system than a spoonful of sugar. This isn't just about calories or carbohydrates. This is about a fundamental biological shift. After the age of 60, your body's ability to manage these glucose surges changes. Your metabolism processes carbohydrates differently than it did in your 40s and 50s. What was once a minor, manageable rise in blood sugar can now become a major metabolic event. That innocent-looking slice of bread is no longer just food. It can become a direct trigger for inflammation, fatigue, and that mid-morning mental fog so many people complain about. You might be doing everything else right, eating your vegetables, going for walks, but this one choice at the start of your day could be undermining all your efforts. But here is the life-changing secret that the bread aisle doesn't want you to know. The solution is not about giving up bread entirely. That is a myth. The real solution is about knowing a simple code. It's about understanding which breads send your body into chaos, and which ones provide clean, steady fuel. In this video, we are breaking the bread code wide open. We will reveal the 3 worst breads that are actively sabotaging your energy levels every single day. And we will give you the 3 best breads that can help stabilize your blood sugar, sharpen your mental clarity, and keep you feeling vibrant and energized from morning until night. The number 1 bread on our must-eat list is probably not what you would expect. Clinical research has shown that incorporating just 2 slices of this specific bread daily can improve the body's insulin response by up to 34% in older adults. This powerful food is sitting on your local grocery store shelf right now. For years, you have likely been walking right past it, unaware of its potential. The journey to steady energy and a sharper mind begins with your very next meal. It begins by cracking this code. So, what is really happening inside your body that makes this once harmless food now so problematic? The answer lies in a fundamental biological change that many doctors call the metabolic switch. Think of your metabolism in your younger years as a powerful, efficient engine. It could handle almost any fuel you put into it. A sugary pastry, a slice of white bread, your body would process it, use the energy, and move on with minimal fuss. But after 60, a switch flips. That powerful engine doesn't just slow down. It gets rewired. It becomes a different system altogether, with new rules. Your pancreas, which produces insulin to manage blood sugar, becomes less responsive. Your muscle cells, which are major consumers of blood sugar, become more resistant to insulin signals. This means the glucose from your food has a much harder time getting into your cells where it's needed for energy. Instead, it piles up in your bloodstream, creating those damaging spikes. This is why the bread you've eaten for decades can suddenly turn on you. What was once fuel has become what scientists term metabolic kryptonite. It's a substance that looks like food, but instead of strengthening your body, it weakens it from the inside out. It sabotages your energy at the source. That 10:30 a.m. crash, the stubborn belly fat, the brain fog, these are not just signs of aging. They are direct symptoms of your body struggling with the wrong fuel under these new metabolic rules. The old advice of everything in moderation no longer applies in the same way. Because when your internal system has changed, moderation of the wrong things still leads to major consequences. This is not a sign of failure on your part. It is a sign that your body is asking for a smarter, more strategic approach to nutrition. Understanding this metabolic switch is your greatest advantage. It means you are not fighting a losing battle against age. You are learning a new set of rules for a new chapter of life. And when you know the rules, you can win the game. This is the core of the blood sugar bread code. It is a system designed specifically for a body that has undergone the metabolic switch. It is not a diet. It is an upgrade to your metabolic software. Now that you understand the why, let's identify the specific saboteurs. Let's expose the 3 red light breads that act as metabolic kryptonite, so you can clear them from your kitchen and your life. Now, let's expose the first and most deceptive saboteur in the bread aisle. This is the bread that pretends to be your friend while actively working against you. We call this one the wolf in sheep's clothing. You know this bread well. It's the one with the warm, golden brown color on the packaging. It has comforting names like honey wheat, multigrain, or 7-grain. It sounds healthy, natural, and wholesome. But this is a carefully crafted illusion. The deception is hidden in plain sight, right on the ingredients label. Here is how the trick works. The first ingredient is often whole wheat flour. That looks good, right? That's the sheep's clothing. It makes you feel confident you're making a smart choice. But now, let your eyes drift down to the third ingredient. More often than not, you will find sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or honey listed right there. When sugar is a top 3 ingredient, that product is not a health food. It is a dessert masquerading as a staple. A major 2023 review in the Journal of Food Composition and Analysis tested dozens of these so-called healthy wheat breads. They found that a single slice could contain up to 4 grams of added sugar. That means 2 slices for your sandwich give you the equivalent of swallowing 2 full sugar packets before you've even added any toppings. Your body registers this just as it would a candy bar. It triggers that massive blood sugar spike we discussed, forcing your pancreas into a state of emergency and setting you up for the inevitable crash. This health halo effect is incredibly powerful. It convinces you that you are doing something good for your body, when in reality, you are feeding it metabolic kryptonite first thing in the morning. This wolf in sheep's clothing is particularly dangerous because it erodes your health while you feel virtuous about your choice. It's the primary reason many people who eat healthy still struggle with low energy and stubborn weight. The fix for this is simple, but it requires a new habit. You must become a label detective. Before any bread goes into your cart, turn the bag over. Look at the ingredients. If you see any form of sugar, whether it's called cane syrup, brown rice syrup, or molasses, in the top 3 ingredients, you have found the wolf. Put it back on the shelf. Your metabolic health depends on seeing through this disguise. This bread isn't just a poor choice. It's a betrayal wrapped in wholesome marketing. By eliminating it, you take a powerful first step toward reclaiming your energy. Now that you can spot the imposter, let's look at the second saboteur, one that doesn't even bother to hide its true nature. Our second red light bread is the classic, the one many of us grew up with. It seems innocent enough, but for anyone who has flipped their metabolic switch, it's a guaranteed path to fatigue. We call this one the empty promiser. This is your standard white bread. That soft, fluffy, cloud-like loaf that makes a perfect, gentle sandwich. The problem with white bread isn't just what's in it, but what has been brutally stripped out of it. To create that pure white, soft texture, the whole wheat grain is refined. This process systematically removes the 2 most valuable parts, the bran and the germ. What is left behind is almost pure endosperm, a starchy, easily digestible carbohydrate that is nearly devoid of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. It's a ghost of a real food. This is why it earns the name empty promiser. It promises to fill you up and give you energy, but it delivers nothing of lasting value. In fact, it actively works against you. Here is the biological betrayal. Because all the fiber has been removed, there is nothing to slow down the digestion of this starch. The moment it hits your stomach, enzymes attack it, converting it into sugar almost instantly. This sends a tsunami of glucose into your bloodstream. Your pancreas panics, releasing a flood of insulin to manage the crisis. This is the spike. But the promise of energy is a lie. What follows is the inevitable crash. That intense insulin surge does its job too well, rapidly pulling all that sugar out of your blood. This drastic drop is what leaves you feeling tired, irritable, and mentally foggy just an hour or two after eating. And here is the most insidious part of the empty promise. The crash triggers powerful hunger signals. Your brain, sensing low blood sugar, believes you are starving. It screams at you to eat more, and specifically, to eat more quick energy carbohydrates to raise your blood sugar back up. So, a breakfast with white bread doesn't keep you full until lunch. It programs your body to crave a mid-morning snack, often another unhealthy choice, locking you into a vicious cycle of spikes, crashes, and cravings all day long. A clinical study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated this clearly. Adults over 60 who ate white bread for breakfast reported feeling significantly hungrier and consumed over 20% more calories at their next meal compared to those who started their day with a high-fiber bread. The empty promiser doesn't just fail to deliver on its promise of sustenance. It actively makes you hungrier, more tired, and more likely to gain weight. It is a relic from a time before your metabolic switch flipped, and it has no place in your kitchen now. You deserve a bread that keeps its promises. And that leads us to the final and most aggressive saboteur on our list. We now come to the third and most aggressive saboteur in our list. This one doesn't hide its true nature. It overwhelms your system with a double-barreled attack. We call this category the double agent. This group includes all the breakfast pastries, muffins, bagels, cinnamon rolls, and sweet breakfast breads. They seem like a treat, a simple indulgence. But in reality, they are double agents, working undercover to create metabolic chaos. Here is how their deception works. A double agent is not just one thing. It is a two-part weapon designed to maximize damage. First, you have the refined white flour from our empty promiser. This gives you the rapid blood sugar spike we now understand so well. But then, the double agent adds its second weapon, a massive dose of added sugar. We are not talking about a gram or two. A single large muffin or a sweetened bagel can contain 30, 40, even 50 grams of sugar. That's the equivalent of 10 to 12 sugar packets in one sitting. This combination of refined flour and pure sugar is a perfect metabolic storm. It creates a bigger, faster, and more prolonged blood sugar spike than anything we have discussed so far. But the damage doesn't stop there. To make these products soft, moist, and irresistible, manufacturers often load them with another ingredient: cheap, highly processed vegetable oils or fats. This is the final, devastating part of the double agent's mission. This high-sugar, high-fat combination sends a powerful, primitive signal directly to your liver. It screams one command: store fat. Store everything. The massive sugar influx is converted directly into liver fat, while the inflammatory fats from the oils tell your body to hold on to every single calorie. This is a primary driver of that stubborn belly fat that becomes so difficult to lose after 60. Furthermore, this toxic combination fuels chronic, body-wide inflammation. This inflammation is like pouring gasoline on the fires of joint pain, accelerating skin aging, and contributing to the cloud of brain fog. A long-term study published in the Journal of Geriatric Health followed the diets of seniors for 5 years. It found that those who consumed these double-agent breads just 3 times a week had a 45% higher reported incidence of joint discomfort and significantly higher markers of systemic inflammation. Your morning muffin isn't just a harmless pleasure. It is a double agent, pretending to be a quick energy source while its real mission is to spike your blood sugar, inflame your joints, and command your body to store fat. Recognizing these 3 saboteurs, the wolf, the empty promiser, and the double agent, is your first and most critical victory. You have now identified the enemy. But this journey is not just about avoidance. It is about replacement with something far better. It is time to flip the script and meet the heroes. Now that you can spot the saboteurs, a world of empowering choices opens up. You are no longer a victim of misleading packaging or clever marketing. You have just learned to see through the 3 biggest lies in the bread aisle. But knowledge of what to avoid is only half the battle. The real power, the true liberation, comes from knowing exactly what to look for. This is where we crack the green light code. The code itself is not complicated. In fact, it is beautifully simple. You don't need a degree in nutrition. You just need to know 3 simple keys. While the red light breads are defined by what they have too much of, like sugar and refined flour, the green light breads are defined by what they have plenty of. The green light code is this. Look for breads that are rich in fiber, protein, and whole food ingredients. These 3 elements work in harmony to protect your metabolism. The fiber acts as a speed bump, dramatically slowing the release of sugar into your bloodstream. The protein provides sustained energy and satiety, telling your brain you are full and satisfied. And the whole food ingredients ensure you are getting a complex package of nutrients, not just empty calories. This simple code is your master key. It unlocks every single good choice in the bread aisle, regardless of the specific name on the bag. You are about to move from defense to offense. You are about to choose foods that actively work for you, not against you. Let's meet the 3 champion breads that perfectly embody this green light code. These are your new allies for steady energy and vibrant health. Our first green light champion is the ultimate energy stabilizer. This bread is so fundamentally different in its very nature that your body processes it more like a vegetable than a traditional starch. We are talking about 100% sprouted grain bread. You may have seen these dense, hearty loaves in the freezer section, with names like Ezekiel or Alvarado Street Bakery. They are stored in the freezer for a reason. They are a living food, without the preservatives that keep other breads on the shelf for weeks. The magic of this bread lies in the sprouting process. Instead of milling dry grains into flour, manufacturers start with whole organic grains, like wheat, barley, and millet, and legumes like lentils and soybeans. They soak them in pure water until they begin to sprout, to come to life. This simple, ancient act of germination transforms the nutritional profile in a way that is nothing short of revolutionary for metabolic health. During sprouting, the seed activates its own internal enzymes to break down its stored food supply, the starch, into simpler, more digestible components. It's a process of pre-digestion. This means your body has to do far less work. For a digestive system that is becoming more sensitive with age, this is a game changer. The starches are no longer complex, hard-to-process chains, but simpler, slower-burning fuels. This is why sprouted grain bread is the energy stabilizer. It doesn't dump glucose into your bloodstream. It meets it out in a slow, steady trickle, providing a consistent source of fuel for your brain and muscles for hours. The clinical data supporting this is remarkable. A major study from the Glycemic Research Institute compared the blood sugar response of various breads. They found that authentic sprouted grain bread had a glycemic index nearly 60% lower than conventional whole wheat bread, and 70% lower than white bread. This translates directly to how you feel. No more 10:30 a.m. crash. No more post-breakfast fog. Just clean, steady energy. But the benefits don't stop at blood sugar. The sprouting process also neutralizes a natural compound called phytic acid, which can block the absorption of crucial minerals like zinc, magnesium, and iron. By reducing this anti-nutrient, your body can actually access and use the incredible wealth of vitamins and minerals in the grains. You are not just eating bread, you are consuming a multivitamin in slice form, packed with bioavailable nutrients that support everything from nerve function to immune health. When you choose a sprouted grain bread, you are selecting the ultimate green light fuel. It is the foundation upon which you can build a day of stable energy and mental clarity. It is the first and most powerful step in telling your body that you are now on its side, providing it with the clean, efficient energy it truly needs to thrive. Our second green light champion is a timeless classic, but most people have never experienced its true, gut-friendly power. This is the bread that soothes your system from the inside out. We are talking about authentic, long-fermented sourdough, the inflammation soother. This is not the bland, mass-produced bread that is simply flavored to taste sour. True sourdough is made with just 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt, transformed by a living starter, a wild colony of yeast and beneficial bacteria. This starter is the engine of change. It performs a slow, natural fermentation that typically takes 18 to 24 hours. During this time, these beneficial microorganisms go to work, predigesting the flour in a way that no commercial yeast ever could. This process is what makes sourdough a green light hero for anyone, but especially for those who experience bloating or discomfort after eating other breads. The fermentation dramatically breaks down the difficult-to-digest proteins and starches in the wheat. This includes significantly reducing the FODMAPs and gluten content that often trigger digestive distress. For many, this makes sourdough the only bread their gut can happily accept. But the benefits go far beyond simple comfort. This bread is an inflammation soother because it actively cultivates a healthier internal environment. The long fermentation produces organic acids and beneficial compounds that have been shown to help calm systemic inflammation. Furthermore, the unique prebiotics created during this process act as premium fuel for the good bacteria in your gut microbiome. Think of your gut as a garden. The prebiotics in sourdough are like fertilizer, helping your beneficial gut flora thrive. A healthy gut microbiome is now understood to be one of the most powerful regulators of overall inflammation, immune function, and even mood stability. The impact on blood sugar is equally impressive. The organic acids produced during fermentation naturally slow down the rate of stomach emptying. This means the carbohydrates from the bread are released into your bloodstream at a much slower, more controlled pace. Research from the Journal of Nutritional Science found that when adults over 60 consumed authentic sourdough, their peak blood glucose response was nearly 40% lower than when they ate an identical amount of bread made with commercial yeast. They experienced no sharp spike and no subsequent energy crash. It's the definition of a steady, reliable fuel. When you shop for sourdough, look for a loaf with a dark, crackly crust and a chewy, irregular interior crumb. The ingredient list should be short and simple. If you see commercial yeast or ascorbic acid, it is not true, long-fermented sourdough. Choosing this inflammation soother is a powerful act of self-care. It's a choice for better digestion, calmer inflammation, and steady energy. It proves that you can enjoy the simple pleasure of bread while actively nurturing your body's well-being. Our third and final green light champion is the unsung hero of the bread world, a true master of metabolic protection. This is 100% whole grain rye bread, and we call it the blood sugar shield. While many people think of rye as just a darker, denser wheat bread, it is a completely different grain with a unique superpower. That power lies in its extraordinary fiber content, specifically a type of soluble fiber called arabinoxolin. When you eat authentic rye bread, these special fibers travel to your digestive system and perform a feat of biological engineering. They absorb water and form a thick, viscous gel. This gel is the shield. It lines your stomach and small intestine, creating a protective barrier. When other carbohydrates from your meal are present, this gel traps them. It acts as a physical filter, dramatically slowing down their access to your intestinal wall where they would be absorbed into your bloodstream. Imagine pouring syrup through a sieve. Now imagine pouring that same syrup through a block of dense, wet sponge. The sponge, the rye fiber gel, would slow the syrup to a crawl. This is exactly what happens inside your body. The result is that the sugar from the bread, and even from other foods you eat alongside it, is released into your system at a slow, steady, almost flatline rate. There is no spike. There is no crash. It is the ultimate defense against metabolic chaos. The scientific evidence for this is overwhelming. A landmark study conducted at the Scandinavian Clinical Nutrition Institute followed adults with prediabetes for 12 weeks. One group added 2 slices of whole grain rye bread to their daily diet. The results were stunning. The rye bread group saw their post-meal blood sugar peaks reduced by an average of 47% compared to the control group. Many participants also reported a dramatic reduction in cravings and a feeling of lasting fullness that carried them for hours. This makes rye bread an invaluable tool for weight management and blood sugar control. It satisfies you on a deep level, preventing the urge to snack on unhealthy foods later. Furthermore, this incredible gel also acts like a sponge for cholesterol, helping to remove excess LDL, or bad cholesterol, from your system, providing a powerful boost to your heart health. When shopping for rye, you must be vigilant. Look for loaves where whole rye flour, or whole grain rye, is the first and primary ingredient. Avoid rye-flavored wheat bread, which is often light brown wheat bread with caramel coloring and a little rye flour. True rye bread is dense, moist, and has a distinctly tangy, earthy flavor. By making the blood sugar shield a part of your life, you are not just choosing a bread. You are activating a powerful, internal defense system. You are choosing stability over chaos, and steady vitality over exhausting peaks and crashes. You now have the knowledge. You know the 3 saboteurs and the 3 heroes. But knowledge without action is just information. It is time to transform this knowledge into power with a simple, immediate mission we call the pantry audit. This is your personal 3-step protocol to clear your kitchen of metabolic chaos and fill it with energizing fuel. You can start this the very next time you are in your kitchen or at the grocery store. Step 1 is the ingredient check. This is your first line of defense. Pick up the bread bag and turn it over. Look at the ingredients list. If the very first ingredient is not whole wheat flour or whole grain, rye, spelt, etc., it is an immediate red light. If you see any form of sugar, whether it's called sucrose, honey, high fructose corn syrup, or cane juice, listed within the top 3 ingredients, that is a deal breaker. Put it back. This single step will help you instantly identify the wolf in sheep's clothing. Step 2 is the fiber test. Now, look at the nutrition facts panel. Find the line for dietary fiber. If a bread has less than 3 to 5 grams of fiber per slice, consider it a red light. Bread with low fiber is, by its very nature, a fast-acting carbohydrate that will spike your blood sugar. It is a sugar spike in disguise, whether it's white, wheat, or anything else. The fiber is your guarantee of a slow, steady energy release. Step 3 is the most important. It is the simple swap. Your mission for the next week is not to overhaul your entire life. It is to make one single, powerful change. Identify one red light bread you currently eat. It could be your morning toast or your lunchtime sandwich bread. Now, swap it for one of the 3 green light champions. The energy stabilizer, sprouted grain, the inflammation soother, sourdough, or the blood sugar shield, rye bread. For 1 week, make this single swap. You do not need to change anything else. Then, become a detective of your own body. Pay close attention. Do you feel that mid-morning energy crash has vanished? Is your mind clearer in the afternoon? Do you feel more satisfied after your meals? Your body will give you all the proof you need. The steady energy, the mental clarity, the absence of bloating, these are the signals that you have cracked the code. This 3-step pantry audit is your key to taking control. It turns confusion into confidence and empowers you to make choices that actively build your health with every single meal. You have just armed yourself with one of the most powerful forms of knowledge, the ability to take control of your health through the simple, daily choices you make. You are no longer a passive consumer, confused by marketing and tricked by labels. From this moment forward, you are the CEO of your own metabolic health. You have the power to fire the saboteurs and hire the heroes. To make this transition as simple and foolproof as possible, we have created a special resource just for you. It is a free, easy-to-use PDF called the Senior's Bread Swap Checklist. This is your executive brief. It condenses everything we've covered into a single page. You'll find a clear list of the 3 red light breads to avoid, the 3 green light breads to embrace, and the simple 3-step pantry audit protocol. You can save it to your phone, print it out, and take it with you to the grocery store. It is your on-the-go guide to making empowered decisions that support your energy and vitality. This is just the beginning. If you found this information valuable and want to join us in building a community focused on clear, actionable health strategies for seniors, we would be honored to have you as part of our channel. If you are ready to take this step for your well-being, please subscribe. And to start building this community right now, we would love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments below, which of the 3 green light breads are you most excited to try first? Is it the steady energy of the energy stabilizer, the gentle comfort of the inflammation soother, or the powerful protection of the blood sugar shield? Share your choice with us. Your journey and your experience are what will help others. Let's build this community of empowered, health-savvy shoppers together. Thank you for watching, and for investing this time in your vibrant future.